whole world mourns the death of 43-year-old movie actress Natalie Wood.
Imagine a glamorous Hollywood star, adored by millions, whose life is cut short under mysterious circumstances. This is the tragic story of Natalie Wood, a talented actress whose untimely death has haunted fans and investigators alike for over 4 decades. On that fateful night in November 1981, Natalie Wood drowned off the coast of Catalina Island, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a cloud of suspicion that still lingers today. In this video, we'll dive deep into the events leading up to her tragic drowning. We'll explore her rise to fame, her complex relationships with Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken, and the chilling details of the night that changed everything. Join me as we unravel this gripping tale of jealousy, secrets, and the dark side of Hollywood. What really happened on that yacht? Let's find out. On a chilly November morning in 1981, the glittering world of Hollywood was about to be shaken to its core. Just off the coast of Catalina Island, a grim discovery was made that would haunt the entertainment industry for decades to come. The body of Natalie Wood, one of Tinseltown's brightest stars, was found floating in the Pacific Ocean. She was just 43 years old. Wood's body was recovered about a mile south of the yacht she'd been staying on, near an isolated area known as Blue Cavern Point. She was wearing a flannel nightgown, down jacket, and socks. Hardly the attire of someone planning a midnight swim. The circumstances surrounding her death were as murky as the waters she was found in. Wood had been aboard the yacht Splendor with her husband, actor Robert Wagner, her co-star Christopher Walken, and the boat's captain, Dennis Davern. What should have been a relaxing Thanksgiving weekend turned into a tragedy that left more questions than answers. Initially ruled as an accidental drowning, the case would later be reopened, casting a shadow of suspicion over those aboard the yacht that fateful night. The discovery of Wood's body only deepened the mystery. How did a Hollywood star, known for her fear of dark water, end up drowning in the middle of the night? Why was the ship's dinghy found beached nearby? And most importantly, what really happened in the hours leading up to her death? As we delve deeper into the events of that night, we'll uncover a web of jealousy, conflicting statements, and lingering suspicions that have kept this case in the public eye for over 4 decades. The tragic end of Natalie Wood isn't just a Hollywood mystery. It's a story that continues to captivate and haunt us to this day. Natalie Wood's journey to stardom began at a remarkably young age, setting the stage for a career that would span nearly 4 decades. Wood's acting career started when she was just 4 years old, making her debut in the 1943 film The Moon Is Down. Her natural talent quickly became apparent, earning her the nickname One Take Natalie, due to her ability to memorize not just her lines, but everyone else's as well. Her breakthrough role came at age 8 in the 1947 Christmas classic Miracle on 34th Street, where she played Susan Walker, a precocious and skeptical young girl. This performance showcased Wood's ability to convey wisdom beyond her years, a trait that would define many of her roles. Unlike many child stars, Wood managed to transition seamlessly into adult roles. She attributed this to her ability to continue playing younger characters due to her slight build. However, it was her deliberate choice of more mature roles that truly marked her transition. The turning point came with her role in Rebel Without a Cause, where she starred alongside James Dean. This film not only served as her breakout adult role, but also earned her the first of 3 Oscar nominations for Best Actress. Wood's talent continued to shine in a variety of roles throughout her career. Some of her most notable films include West Side Story, 1961, where she played Maria in the acclaimed musical adaptation, Splendor in the Grass, 1961. This film, directed by Elia Kazan, earned her another Oscar nomination and is considered a turning point in her career. Love with a Proper Stranger, 1963. Her performance in this film garnered her 3rd Oscar nomination.
You know why I've never been able to leave home? I just suddenly figured it out. Very complicated. I was scared. And I'm not scared anymore.
Wood's versatility as an actress was evident in her ability to tackle complex roles across different genres. She seamlessly transitioned from musicals to dramas, always bringing depth and authenticity to her characters. Throughout her career, Wood received numerous accolades, including Golden Globe nominations and wins. Her 3 Academy Award nominations by the age of 25 were a testament to her exceptional talent and the respect she commanded in the industry. Wood's career wasn't limited to the big screen. In her later years, she also gave exceptional performances in television productions, such as Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, 1976. Natalie Wood's journey from child actress to Hollywood icon was marked by her ability to grow and evolve as an actress, consistently delivering powerful performances that resonated with audiences and critics alike. As Thanksgiving weekend of 1981 approached, the stage was set for what should have been a relaxing getaway. Instead, it became the backdrop for one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Let's meet the key players in this tragic tale. First, we have Natalie Wood herself. At 43, Wood was a Hollywood icon with a career spanning nearly 4 decades. Known for her roles in classics like Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story, Wood was not just a talented actress, but a symbol of Hollywood glamour. Interestingly, she had a well-known fear of dark water, making the circumstances of her death all the more puzzling. Next is Robert Wagner, Wood's husband. At 51, Wagner was a successful actor in his own right, known for his roles in TV series like It Takes a Thief and Heart to Heart. This was his second marriage to Wood. They had divorced in 1962, only to remarry in 1972. Their relationship was often described as passionate but tumultuous. Christopher Walken, then 38, was the third member of this ill-fated trip. A rising star in Hollywood, Walken was Wood's co-star in the science fiction film Brainstorm, which was in production at the time. His presence on the yacht would later become a point of contention and speculation. Finally, we have Dennis Davern, the captain of the Wagner's yacht, the Splendor. Davern wasn't just an employee, but had become a close friend of the couple over the years. His testimony would later prove crucial in the investigation of Wood's death. The scene was Thanksgiving weekend 1981. The group had decided to spend the holiday aboard Wagner's 60-foot yacht, the Splendor, anchored off Catalina Island, about 22 miles southwest of Los Angeles. What started as a festive getaway would soon turn into a nightmare that continues to haunt Hollywood to this day. As night fell on November 28th, the yacht became the center of a tragedy that would spark decades of speculation. With jealousy simmering, alcohol flowing, and a stormy night ahead, the stage was set for a series of events that would leave one of Hollywood's brightest stars floating lifeless in the Pacific Ocean. As the cameras rolled on the set of Brainstorm, a friendship was blossoming between Natalie Wood and her co-star Christopher Walken. Their on-screen chemistry was undeniable, but it was their off-screen rapport that would soon become the catalyst for a night of mounting tension. According to David McGeifert, the film's first assistant director, there was an undeniable spark between the two actors. He noted, it wasn't like they were lovey-dovey on the set or anything like that, but they just had a current about them and an electricity. This growing closeness didn't go unnoticed, least of all by Wood's husband, Robert Wagner. As Wood and Walken's friendship deepened, Wagner's suspicions began to grow. Dennis Davern, the boat's captain, later recalled Robert Wagner was jealous of Christopher Walken. This simmering jealousy would come to a head during their fateful Thanksgiving weekend trip. On the evening of November 28th, the group decided to have dinner at Doug's Harbor Reef restaurant on Catalina Island. What should have been a pleasant meal quickly devolved into a night of heavy drinking and rising tensions. According to witnesses, the group consumed an alarming amount of alcohol, champagne, 2 bottles of wine, and cocktails. The atmosphere at the table was far from jovial. At one point, the tension reached such a fevered pitch that either Wood or Walken, accounts differ, threw a glass against the wall. But the drama didn't start at dinner. Earlier that day, Wood and Walken had spent hours at a bar on the island, laughing and seemingly flirting. When Wagner arrived, he was visibly furious. This set the stage for the explosive confrontation that would unfold later that night. As the group staggered out of the restaurant just after 10 p.m., the manager watched with concern, worried about their ability to safely return to the yacht. Little did he know that the tension that had been building all day was about to reach its tragic climax aboard the Splendor. As the group returned to the Splendor from their dinner at Doug's Harbor Reef restaurant, the tension that had been building all evening was about to reach its peak. According to multiple accounts, the drinking continued once they were back on board. Captain Dennis Davern later reported that the atmosphere was tense, with heated discussions taking place between Wagner, Wood, and Walken. Around 11 p.m., things took a turn. Davern reported hearing a loud argument between Wagner and Wood. This was corroborated by a woman on a nearby boat who told investigators she heard a woman's voice yelling for help. The last confirmed sighting of Natalie Wood alive was shortly after this, when Davern said he saw her in the main cabin. What happened in the following hours remains a mystery that has puzzled investigators for decades. At some point during the night, the yacht's dinghy went missing. When Wood's absence was noticed, it was initially thought she might have taken the dinghy to go ashore, despite her well-known fear of water. It wasn't until hours later, at 1:30 a.m., that a ship-to-shore call was made to report Wood missing. The Coast Guard wasn't contacted until 3:30 a.m. This delay in reporting and searching for Wood has been a point of significant scrutiny in the investigation. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, an eerie silence hung over the Splendor. The yacht, once filled with laughter and heated arguments, now held a chilling secret. It wasn't until the early hours of November 29th that Natalie Wood's absence was officially noticed. Robert Wagner, looking haggard and distraught, finally alerted the authorities, but by then, precious hours had already slipped away. The initial search efforts were hampered by the thick fog that had settled over the area. Coast Guard boats cut through the mist, their searchlights casting ghostly beams across the choppy waters. As morning broke, the search intensified. Helicopters joined the boats, their rotors chopping through the heavy air. But with each passing hour, hope dwindled and dread grew. Then, at 7:45 a.m., a grim discovery was made that would shake Hollywood to its core. About a mile from the Splendor, near an area known as Blue Cavern Point, searchers spotted something in the water. As they drew closer, their worst fears were confirmed. Natalie Wood, the bright star of Hollywood, was found floating face down in her nightgown and socks. The red down jacket she wore had absorbed water, weighing her down. As news of the discovery spread, a pall fell over Catalina Island and beyond. The glittering world of Hollywood was about to be plunged into a mystery that would endure for decades. But the discovery of Natalie Wood's body was just the beginning. The circumstances surrounding her death would raise questions that remain unanswered to this day. The mysterious circumstances surrounding Natalie Wood's death have spawned numerous theories and investigations over the years. Let's dive into the most prominent ones. At the center of this mystery is Robert Wagner, Wood's husband. His changing statements over the years have raised eyebrows and fueled suspicions. Initially, Wagner claimed he and Wood had a pleasant evening before she went to bed. Years later, he revised his story, suggesting Wood might have fallen while trying to secure the dinghy.
I picked up the bottle and smashed it on the table. And, I was really, angry. What we think is that she went outside and slipped on the swim step and hit her head and was knocked unconscious and fell into the water.
This sudden change in narrative, decades after the incident, left many wondering, why revise your story if you were telling the truth to begin with? Wagner's behavior immediately after Wood's disappearance has also been scrutinized. According to boat captain Dennis Davern, Wagner was reluctant to call for help or turn on the yacht's floodlights.
I don't think anybody really did care about Natalie.
In 2018, investigators named Wagner a person of interest in the case. His refusal to cooperate with authorities since then has only intensified suspicions. While initially ruled an accident, evidence has emerged over the years suggesting foul play might have been involved in Wood's death. The original coroner's report noted numerous bruises to arms and legs on Wood's body. However, these were initially dismissed as superficial and likely sustained during drowning. But questions lingered. Were these bruises really from drowning, or did they indicate a struggle before Wood entered the water? In 2011, the case was dramatically reopened when Davern admitted he'd lied during the initial investigation. This led to Wood's death certificate being amended from accidental drowning to drowning and undetermined factors. The case was now officially suspicious. Throughout the years, Natalie's sister, Lena Wood, has been a persistent voice, demanding answers and justice. Lena has consistently challenged the official narrative, pointing out inconsistencies and pushing for further investigation. Her relentless pursuit of the truth has kept the case in the public eye and put pressure on authorities to continue their investigation. Lena's been vocal in her belief that her sister would never have voluntarily entered the water. She would have never left the boat like that, undressed in just a nightgown, Lena stated.
She was either unconscious or had already died when she hit the water.
Natalie and RJ were fighting bitterly the entire trip to Catalina.
While careful not to directly accuse anyone, Lena's public statements have often pointed towards foul play and have kept the mystery of Natalie Wood's death alive in the public consciousness. While the official investigation is focused on certain aspects, numerous other theories have surfaced over the decades. Let's examine some of these alternative explanations. One theory suggests that Wood, hearing the dinghy banging against the yacht, attempted to secure it. Given her known fear of water, this might seem unlikely, but supporters argue she may have acted impulsively, perhaps under the influence of alcohol. Another theory posits that Wood, upset by the arguments on board, attempted to leave the yacht in the dinghy. This theory suggests she may have slipped while trying to board the small boat, falling into the cold water. Some have speculated about the involvement of a third party. This theory suggests that Wood may have been assaulted by someone from another boat, explaining the bruises on her body. However, no concrete evidence supports this claim. A more controversial theory suggests a potential cover-up involving influential Hollywood figures. Proponents argue that the initial investigation was rushed or deliberately mishandled to protect certain reputations. While less prevalent, some have suggested that Wood's death might have been a suicide. This theory points to her alleged struggles with depression and the tumultuous nature of her relationship with Wagner.
I just want to die.
However, those close to Wood have vehemently rejected this idea. It's important to note that many of these theories lack substantial evidence and remain speculative. The truth about what happened that night continues to elude investigators and the public alike. As we consider these theories, we must remember that at the heart of this mystery is the tragic loss of a talented actress and beloved figure. The enduring fascination with her death speaks to Wood's lasting impact on Hollywood and popular culture. Despite decades of investigation, Natalie Wood's death remains shrouded in mystery. Let's explore some of the lingering questions that continue to puzzle investigators and the public alike. One of the most troubling aspects of this case is the conflicting accounts provided by those present on the yacht that fateful night. Robert Wagner initially claimed he and Wood had a pleasant evening before she went to bed. Years later, he suggested she might have fallen while trying to secure the dinghy. This sudden change in narrative raised eyebrows. Christopher Walken, meanwhile, has remained largely silent about the events of that night, offering only brief, vague statements over the years. Perhaps most significantly, boat captain Dennis Davern changed his story dramatically. In 2011, he admitted to lying in his initial statements and suggested that Wagner was responsible for Wood's death. This revelation led to the case being reopened. The central mystery remains. How did Natalie Wood, a woman with a well-known fear of water, end up in the ocean? Wagner's later theory that she was trying to secure the dinghy seems implausible given her phobia. Moreover, why would she attempt this task in her nightgown and socks? Some have suggested she might have been pushed or fallen during an argument. The bruises found on her body have fueled this speculation. However, without eyewitness accounts, it's impossible to know for certain. Given Wood's fear of water, it's puzzling that she didn't call for help or attempt to swim back to the yacht. Several factors may explain this. First, the autopsy revealed a significant amount of alcohol in her system, along with 2 types of medication. This combination could have impaired her ability to react quickly or call for help. Second, the water was cold that night, around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Hypothermia can set in quickly in such conditions, potentially incapacitating her within minutes. Lastly, the red down jacket she was wearing likely became waterlogged, weighing her down and making it difficult to stay afloat or swim. These factors, combined with her fear of water, paint a tragic picture of a woman who may have been unable to save herself once she entered the water, regardless of how she got there. As we consider these lingering questions, we're reminded of the tragic loss of a talented actress and the enduring mystery surrounding her final moments. Despite numerous investigations, the full truth of what happened that night may never be known. Decades have passed since that moonlit night off Catalina Island. Yet time has not diminished the questions that linger in its wake. Like the final reel of an unfinished film, Natalie Wood's story remains suspended between tragedy and mystery. The shifting stories, the contradicting witnesses, the haunting questions about those final hours aboard the Splendor, they paint a picture as dark as the waters that claimed her. 3 people still alive who knew what happened that night. 3 different versions of the truth. In an industry built on storytelling, which version do we believe? But perhaps the most disturbing revelation isn't about that night at all. It's about how easily Hollywood's machine can transform a mysterious death into just another cautionary tale, filed away with Marilyn Monroe, Bob Marley, and so many others whose endings raised more questions than answers. Like them, Natalie Wood's story reveals an unspoken truth. In Hollywood, stars don't just fade away. Sometimes they vanish into darkness, leaving behind only speculation and whispered conspiracies. Yet perhaps the most chilling aspect isn't the mystery itself, but what it suggests about the price of fame. For in the end, Natalie Wood's story isn't just about one night off Catalina Island. It's about the dark side that lurks beneath Hollywood's dazzling surface, always waiting to pull another rising star into its depths. Some say Hollywood is built on dreams, but as Natalie Wood's story reminds us, it's the nightmares that keep us watching, waiting, and wondering if the truth will finally surface from those dark waters or if it will remain, like so many Hollywood secrets, just beyond our reach.